Welcome to another episode of the Wolf Talk podcast. Today we've got someone that doesn't need any mentioning, the Savage Sam Eggington. How's it going, mate?
I'm good, pal. Yeah, it's all going as well as can be expected, I suppose. You know, for camp number 46. So
I know you got a tough
yeah,
fight coming up, haven't you?
yeah, it's, yeah. From from the way it looks, mate, it'll be a grueling one, but see how it goes.
And it's been billed the Battle of the Midlands. How's that feel to be fighting on near enough home soil?
Yeah, well, like I say, a battle of the Midlands, a battle of Brum is nothing new to me. Do you know what I mean? We've done the Birmingham district, now we're doing the Black Country one. So, yeah, this will just be another piece of the puzzle, I suppose.
How's training going towards it?
Yeah, it's going well, pal. Like I say, as well as can be expected. You know, we it never changes really, pal. You know, like I always say, if I'm 12 rounds top of the bill, or if I'm a 6th round at the start of the bill, you know, training's always the same. It's always hard. It's always, you know, set out a routine to it all. So, yeah, so it's always hard, mate. You know, you add little things here and there, but yeah, it's always hard, and you know, it never changes really.
It's been built up for like a grueling match, one that's going to bring fireworks and more. Do you think that'll play into your style as well?
Look, I know, you know, I don't know Connor personally. You know, I've seen him about, and we've said hello and we're cordial, but and that's all fine. But I think what he's built his career on, you know, the grueling, you know, stoppages, um, is what I built a 14-year career on. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, if you work it out in time, 13 years of my 14 years have all been grueling wins. Do you know what I mean? It's what I built a career on. So while he does well, I'm more than, you know, ready for. Do you know what I'm saying? So we'll see what happens on the night. But again, if it goes into a, you know, a grueling slugfest, then it's always meat and drink to me. You know, I'll take that, you know, every day. You know, twice on a Sunday. You know, he's a welterweight coming up to super welter. I remember being a welterweight and I was big and I was strong at it. Not until you come up the weight, mate, that you realise that it might only just be £7, but it's a massive difference. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we'll see. Again, I've just been telling everyone I've been throwing welterweights around since I was 20, and a welterweight. You know, I'm 32 now, and I'm like fully grown super welter. If not, I could do middle as well. I've done middle quite well. So yeah, we'll see on the night. You know, all kinds of got to do is come and prove me wrong, but I don't see it personally. But I'm gonna say that, I suppose. I think everyone in my last 4 or 5 fights have overlooked me, especially since Australia, because I really fucking give it up there. I might as well have not turned up. But when I got back, Pigford, if you look at his last 3 fights and my last 3 fights, do you know what I mean? Like Pigford, I fought Pigford, who had 21 and not 28. I fought Baru and I lost against a Split, who went on to win the WBA world title, defend it, and then try and unify. And from what I've heard, I didn't watch it, but from what I heard, people might have thought he'd won that fight against that kid who begins with Z. I don't know what his name is either.
Yeah, if he didn't win, it was fucking close.
Yeah, and then I went on to beat Cutler, who was on a run, his best run. He just beat one of the McKennas, and you know, next world beater. So again, no one's talking about my shit because not to be fucked up, but because Eddie Earn ain't shouting my name.
That's it.
Do you know what I mean? But we'll see. Again, he might turn up, shock the life out of me, and make me eat my words. But I just don't see it personally. And do you know what's a really good thing as well? Like, it's just by the house. It's by my house, really. So, you know, like when you have to travel to London, Liverpool, blah, blah, and it changes all your routine up.
Yeah.
I have my whole routine here. It's literally 5 minutes up the road. I could jog to the venue if I wanted to. Do you know what I mean? So for that, like all the things that I normally moan at about fighting anywhere else, I've got all the home benefits here.
Yeah, that's sweet, isn't it?
Yeah, I've got my whole routine that I don't have to change. I don't have to look for anything. So yeah, it can all go. Like I say, I genuinely think I can only lose this fight myself. But again, who knows? Again, he might turn up, shock the life out of me, poleaxe me in a round, and I'm going to be eating my own words. But I just don't see it.
And take it back like we do with most people. What was it like growing up for you? Was you always involved in sports or boxing or any form of combat?
No, I mean, yeah, since early primary school, I've been in the gym. But it weren't nothing. It weren't nothing crazy. My dad weren't, into boxing or, my oldest brother went to boxing, and the next two down, me and my older, like the brother above me, we just followed him. My oldest brother then quit quite early. The one above me, he had about 12 maybe. Quit. We all quit in our teen years. And I just went back on a whim when I was about 15. And that's where it snowballed. But never was this ever the plan. Like I say, my mum and dad, we're not big boxing people. No one else in my family boxes or even half follows it. Really, they only follow me. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, so yeah, and like I say, it's not yeah, it was never the plan sort of thing. It was just I fell into it when I did.
Before the boxing, did you find yourself scrapping a lot at school and out and about, or was that never?
Honestly, Pat, like I say, I'm the youngest, so I didn't really have to do much if I'm honest. Yeah, I got two older brothers, so by the time I got to high school, brother, I was calm. Do you know what I mean? I was all right, sort of thing. Um, Outside of school a bit, I suppose. The weekends you used to, you go out and see different crowds, but nothing crazy. I don't think. I don't think my mum and dad was ever going to say I was going to be a professional boxer that's well known for grueling fights. You know what I mean? It was never the case. I was a little shit, but nothing crazy.
You say you and your brothers like fell off for a bit. What made you go back into it? What was it that sparked it back off?
Honestly, pal, I couldn't even tell you. I had a mate. His family they all boxed as well. And I hung about with one of the cousins, and his little cousin went back to the same gym that I used to go to, and it kind of just went that way. And I kind of went with them. I had a lift there and stuff like that, and it kind of went like that. And then yeah, it was just something that I done that no one else really did. Do you know what I mean? So
Was it more of a hobby to start with,
um
just something to pass the time?
I, I, yeah, I suppose. Like I say, well, as an amateur mate, I've done nothing. I trained on a Monday for an hour. I trained on a Wednesday for an hour. Um, and that was it. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I was out and about with what you do when you're teenagers. You know what I mean? I was just about, and that's all I've done. I trained for an hour on Monday, and an hour on Wednesday. So it was like I say, this was never the plan by any means. But we're here now.
When did you feel it started getting more serious?
It never did really, pal. Like I say, I had my first one when I was 16, and I needed to earn some dough because I didn't have a job. Um, so do you know Craig Cunningham?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he went to my amateur gym. And when he turned over, he was obviously doing it all properly. I'd heard about the journeyman thing, and I'd rang John Pegg, who was with who Craig was signed with. I said, "Listen, I'll go on the road. I'll win, lose or draw. I just need to box regular. Like I say, I've got a baby on the way." I went away for my first one and I won, so that went tits up straight away.
And obviously you've won everything there is to win near enough.
Yeah.
How do you still keep the drive to keep doing it? Is it
Do
money?
you know what? I get these, and it's not really the money. I mean, the money's good, don't get me wrong. But also, if I didn't do this, I'd be in a job that I hated. So the motivation is to keep a job you want to do. Do you know what I mean? I generally I mean, don't get me wrong, it's like a love-hate relationship. It's hard, and you got to do things, the dieting and all that sort of stuff. But apart from the dieting, brother, I did this until the wheels fell off. Do you know what I mean? I enjoy it. So the motivation is to carry on doing a job you enjoy doing. And don't get me wrong, I know there's health issues, and I take all the checks and I take all the everything I need to do to make sure that I'm okay with it, and going forward, like there'll be no problems, and I'm doing that. So again, the motivation is to keep a job that you enjoy doing. Because again, this boxing stuff, you got to be in the top 1 or 2% to make like the money to really sit back and do nothing for the rest of your life. So if I had to retire now, I'd have to go to work. And I get up and tell myself every morning that I'll go out and do something I enjoy doing. There's not many people that get paid what I get paid to do and enjoy it. So that is the motivation, just to keep doing what you want to do. I'm my own boss. I go to obviously within means, but I go to training when I want. I do what I want when I want. When I'm not in camp, I do all the school runs. I do all the kids stuff, anything the kids do at school, any gigs, any plays, anything like that. I get to do it all. And if I was doing a 9 to 5, I wouldn't. Do you know what I mean? So again, my motivation's there just to keep enjoying doing what you want to do and be your own boss in that sense.
And I say it sounds like you're a big family man there for your family.
Yeah. That, like I say, if it weren't for my first son, I wouldn't have turned professional at all. Yeah, again, without him, it wouldn't even have been an option. I'd have been, not to say like everyone else, but that sounds bad, but yeah, I'd have got a 9 to 5 up the road, and I'd have been skipping through this job, that job, this job until you find somewhere you sick and you stay and you just work it out till you're 65. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, like I say, without him, it wouldn't have happened. And the next two have just sort of added motivation to it.
So you said you didn't have much of a plan going forward. Was it just a case of take each fight as it comes and see where it leads?
Yeah, yeah. Again, I'm still doing that now, brother. It's never changed really. I said to John Pegg at the time, I said, listen, I want to be on the road. Even before we went for my first fight, John did say, like, listen, it's not as easy as you think, and the way you box, I don't think the journeyman thing will work out. 'Cause like I say, I was 18. I was 18 when I turned professional with John, and every time someone hit me, I wanted to hit them back harder and more. And John was like, "Listen, that's not a journeyman sort of thing to do." Do you know what I mean? So yeah, like I say, and since then we've just took every opportunity that have come. We've done the prize fighters. I think after the second or the first prize fighter, I got offered my first Midlands area title. That was in the away corner. Um, and then the matchroom thing with the first one was like a breakout fight with Denta Vassal. It was that was in Manchester, in his hometown sort of thing. I weren't signed with matchroom then. That was just a fight on the card. So yeah, we just take them all as they come. Yeah, I don't think too deep into it. This is my job. I enjoy doing it. You win some, you lose some. You know what I mean? But every time I'm in there, I do everything and more through camp to make sure that I come out on top.
Even when the belt started coming, you didn't have any plans going forward then?
I don't think with that yet. I've ever followed. Um, like a route to a title sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? Like we'll box him, we'll box him, we'll box this eliminator. It's just what they've offered us at the time. Like I say, the Vassal thing was a British title eliminator. Um, we didn't get the British title till 3 fights after that, 3 bouts after that. Do you know what I mean? The Commonwealth, that just come out of nowhere. We didn't follow that or box a eliminator for that. The WBC Silver International, the first bout we won against Singleton. Again, that was just a fight on the card. Again, his hometown. It was just an opportunity. So yeah, I just like I say, you take it more serious. Don't get me wrong, but there's never been a plan as such. like we'll go for this title, we'll push onto this, we'll push onto this. It's just been as and when the opportunities have arisen, we've took them. And I think unless you're backed or you're a top amateur star, I think that's the way to go. Too many people are so worried about their big old, these days that they're not into taking hard fights, 50-50 fights early. But yeah, like I say, just as and when the opportunities come, I'll take them.
Do you have much say in who you fight, or do you just leave it to your camp to sort it out for you?
I just leave it to the team. I don't watch opponents. I don't watch boxing as a rule, really. But if I get an opponent, I don't watch them. I don't look at their records. I leave it down to the team. Again, that's why they're there, if I'm honest. Do you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I don't get nothing out of watching opponents and trying to work them out. It's just not my thing. I'll go in there. I got plan A. If the opponent's got plan A, B, and C to work around that, then fair dues. But I'm going to work at plan A till to the last round, to the last bout. And if it works out for me, then that's what it does. But yeah, it's like I say, it's black and white to me, mate. I'll go in there to do my work. I don't try and work my style around anyone else. I just do what I do, and if that gets me the victory by the end of the night, which 9 times out of 10 it has, then that's what I do.
And that walking people down, and like you said, if someone's going to hit you, you're going to hit them harder. Where do you think that comes from?
I don't know, mate. Like I say, I suppose I've got 2 older brothers. Do you know what I mean? I've been beat up my whole life, I think. But yeah, so I think I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Like I say, it's just you either like that or you're not like that. Do you know what I mean? Some people like to avoid it, and I like to go towards it, I suppose. But yeah, generally, pal, I can't say. It's just how I've boxed since I was young. Even when I was an amateur, my older brother was a bit more of a boxer type, whereas I like to sort of go in and have a brawl sort of thing. But yeah, I can't say. You just revert back to what you know, don't you? I suppose.
Oh yeah, definitely. And obviously, this fight coming up, it's obviously billed as a big fight, and it can open more opportunities up after. Are you planning for after that, or are you just solely focused on this fight?
No, I mean, where I am in my career, brother, you can't really look past the fight because, again, I know I say that I want to keep my job and I want to do this, but if I lose, I'm really in a sticky situation at this point, and I don't really know what I'd do. I'd probably have to pack it in because I don't think I'd get many opportunities after that. But yeah, again, I'll keep it to this fight. I don't really have to, like I say, I've never had a plan, so there's no point in trying to plan after this one because why try and fix something that's not broken? The way I've worked since the start has been just get through the next one, get through the next one, and that's the same with this one. We're gonna get through this one, and we'll see what comes up after. But until then, it's pointless even thinking about it.
I know you're not one, obviously, we can tell with big plans now, but have you planned for life after boxing, or are you going to take that as it comes?
I suppose I'll just have to take that as it comes back. If I'm honest, yeah. Again, I'm not really. Yeah. Nah. Again, I'll probably work in some 9 to 5 somewhere, just kicking back and getting home, looking at the belts when I'm 70, thinking probably should have done more, but until then, we don't know. But yeah, like I said, and I don't think about it, pal. Again, I also I've always said as well, like if you start thinking about a job out of boxing, this is not the sort of place to have one foot in, one foot out. You're either all in or you're not.
Yeah.
When I'm all out, I'll think about that shit then. But until then, I'm boxing. I'm ready to go. Do you know what I mean? I want to win titles. I'm not here to play about. Um, I'm here to pick up titles and pick up big opportunities. And again, until that's completely done, and I'm out, there's no even point in thinking about a job.
We ask this to everyone, so we'll ask you, what do you think boxing gives people?
I think it gives people manners. I think it gives people respect. It teaches people to treat other people the way they would want to be treated. I think. 'Cause like I say, I always say to my kids, "You run your mouth, I'll take you to the gym." And I'll take you to the gym, and the little amateur kids will bash you up. Carry on running your mouth, and that way, then you know, because you'll go into the gym and you'll see someone, and they'll look at, a stick. But you get them in the ring, mate. Put some gloves on them. They can throw hands. And I think it just proves to you that you can be anything you want, and you should respect everyone because you don't know what people are made of. And like I said, I think I've bumped into a few people that you look at them and you think, and then once they put the head guard on and some gloves, they pepper you up. So yeah, I think give people respect, mate. More than anything, it's just respect and respect. Just to treat people how you would want to be treated. I think because with boxing, no one's got any chip on the shoulder. Do you know what I mean? You're going to a gym and there'll be people of all races, all women, men, and they're all just in there doing their thing. And there's not one argument. No one's got problems. We're all just here to box, and I think it teaches respect and just like I say, just treat people how you want to be treated.
Yeah, you see that in the boxing gym. It's like a community. Everyone's got
Yeah,
respect in there. Everyone's there for each other. There's no,
yeah.
you
Again,
got to leave your ego at the door. You can't take an ego in.
that's what I'm saying. Because like I say, you go into a boxing gym with an ego, and you'll get some kid who'll pepper you up, and you look an idiot. You know what I mean? As long as you've got respect for everyone will treat you the same. I think boxing does that for kids. Um, so yeah, I think it teaches a lot of things. I mean, I could go on, I suppose, and other people would say different things, but I think respect is the main one. I think respect is the big one.
Definitely. And we know you're busy, so we won't keep you much longer. But we want to thank you for coming on and wish you all the best for your fight coming up and whatever may come your way after that.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it, brother. Yeah, make sure you tune in. It'll be a good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Savage Sam Eggington.